Studebaker wins again in the 1952 Mobilgas Economy Run. Now for some highlights of the 1952 Mobilgas Economy Run from Los Angeles to Sun Valley, Idaho. For the third year in a row, Studebaker led the field for economy in the toughest yet fairest stock car competition in the country, the Mobilgas Economy Run. Over 1,415 miles, by far the longest run in the contest's history, at an average speed of 40 miles an hour, in temperatures that ranged from over 100 degrees in the desert, 70 feet below sea level, to sub-zero mountain cold and altitudes more than 8,000 feet above sea level, through desolate countryside and the traffic of city streets. This year's Mobilgas Economy Run, more than 500 miles longer than any previous run, began in Los Angeles, went through the desert country of Palm Springs and Indio, with an altitude of 70 feet below sea level, the lowest point on the run, and ended the first day at the south rim of the Grand Canyon. Shortly afterward, the highest altitude was reached, more than 8,000 feet above sea level in the mountain forests, with the day's run ending at Salt Lake City. The third day, the cars refueled at Salt Lake City and Twin Falls, completing the grueling test at Sun Valley, Idaho, 1,415 miles from Los Angeles, with a total elapsed time of 35 hours. 2 days prior to the start of the run, the cars left the official impound area in Pasadena. Here, the Studebaker Champion, thrifty winner of the actual miles per gallon in the Mobilgas Economy Runs of 1950 and 51, is given an appropriate send-off. On their way to the starting point in Los Angeles, the cars passed the famed Rose Bowl. All cars entered in the contest were stock cars and were selected by American Automobile Association officials who chose them at random from dealers' showrooms, assembly plants, or storage areas. Official AAA seals were affixed to all 23 cars. Each car carried only the standard equipment listed by their manufacturer for stock models, since the purpose of the run is to show the average motorist exactly what performance he could expect from his car on such a trip if it were in first-class operating condition and driven for maximum economy. It was 3 o'clock in the morning in Los Angeles, and public interest in the run was at a high pitch. Many spectators were present at the start of the run on April 14th. Earlier, each car's fuel had been measured to literally the last precious drop, and the tanks again sealed officially. Trained observers rode in every car to be sure the driver obeyed all speed limits, traffic regulations, and contest rules. A morning's drive through 100-degree desert heat at an altitude that dipped 70 feet below sea level brought the contestants into Blythe, where the first refueling stop was made. Driving through the town, the Studebakers were careful to obey the traffic regulations, since this run is a test conducted under the same conditions ordinary motorists would encounter on a similar trip. Again in open desert, the Studebaker Champion picks up speed. Although the speed limit could not be exceeded, the contestants were required to maintain a 40-mile-an-hour average throughout the 3-day test. Starting the long climb up from the desert floor, there's no stopping to adjust carburetors to increase performance, just as the ordinary motorist wouldn't adjust his carburetor. Hour after hour, the steady pace continues as the cars climb higher and higher. Temperatures drop steadily as the altitude mounts, and at last they arrive at the end of the first day's travel at the south rim of the Grand Canyon. After a pre-dawn start the second day, the contestants wound their way through the historic and awe-inspiring Grand Canyon country and Zion National Park. At Marble Canyon, everyone refueled, including the Studebakers, a famous name in transportation way back when the term horsepower meant this. Here, as at every stop, it was regular, not premium gas for the thrifty Studebakers. Soon after leaving Marble Canyon, the cars were at their highest altitude, over 8,000 feet, but the Studebakers kept on thriftily piling up the miles. All along the route, the contestants were greeted by interested spectators, eager to see how the car they planned to buy next time was coming along. As the town thinned out and the countryside became more desolate, Dependability, another word for Studebaker performance, became of paramount importance. Time-tested Studebaker stamina paid off as the Studebakers rolled right along in this rugged country, saving gas every mile. The Studebaker Champion and the Studebaker Commander V8 set a standard of economy that won them first and second place in actual miles per gallon, the criterion by which the average motorist judges the economical performance of his car. The Studebaker Champion and the Studebaker Commander beat all other cars, 6s or 8s, entered in the standard classifications. Like most of the competing cars, these sensationally thrifty Studebakers were equipped with overdrive transmissions and used regular, not premium gas. The end of the second day's drive found the cars in Salt Lake City, where they were serviced and kept overnight in the official impound area in the shadow of the state capitol. In the early morning hours, they were flagged off on the last leg of the run. So the steady grind continued for 3 punishing days, mile after mile of constant traveling through extremes of temperatures and altitudes. Then, finally, the end was in sight. And in Sun Valley, 1,415 miles from the start, the last checkered flag dropped, signaling the completion of the run. A little rest and relaxation for the drivers in the famed resort was not at all hard to take, while the AAA officials studied the results. The cars were leveled to the exact position they were in at the start of the run for a gasoline mileage check that would be accurate to the last drop. Then came the big day, a gala occasion that everyone turned out to watch. The presentation of the awards based on official results of the economy run. First place winner for all cars entered in the standard classifications for actual miles per gallon, the Studebaker Champion with a pace-setting record of 27.82 actual miles per gallon. And second place? Why, that went to Studebaker, too, with the Commander V8 beating all other cars in the standard classifications with 25.59 actual miles per gallon. Following close behind the 2 leaders came the luxurious Land Cruiser with 25.38 actual miles per gallon. Yes, the Mobilgas Economy Run, top motoring test in the nation, proved it. Studebaker is the dependable economy car of the year.